All right, everyone, just one moment. All right, everyone, welcome to the 187 District Court. Happy Wednesday. Let's keep this as a Wednesday. Do not try to turn it into a Monday. These are the rules of the 187 District Court. This is the 187 District Court. Whatever you cannot do in the courtroom, you cannot do on this Zoom screen. That includes wearing baseball caps, the person who's listed as Deborah Garcia. There's to be no smoking. There's to be no driving while you're Zooming. Nobody here wants to be a witness to an accident or the cause of an accident. If you are at the Bexar County Jail, one, those masks don't work if you don't pull it over your nose. I'm not a medical doctor, but I think that's how that's supposed to work. If you are at the jail, you're not allowed to use the chat box. If you use the chat box, you will be sent back to your cell. You're not allowed to use this as a chance to pick up dates. If you do that, you will be sent back to your cell. To everyone else, you are not to be cooking at home, making dinners, doing laundry, or whatever you do. Remember, you're in the 187 District Court. For all of you who are on bond, if you do not act professionally on this Zoom, what will end up happening is you will be forced to come in person downtown to the 187 District Court, which means you'll have to pay for parking and deal with the traffic and the hassle of coming down. So this is a convenience. As people say, this is a privilege. It's not a right. So if you do not want to have to come down to the 187th in person today, then you need to behave professionally on the Zoom screen. To all the attorneys, if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, no matter how small the plea bargain agreement is, you need to put that in the chat box to the court coordinator. She's listed as Ferguson Coordinator. Everyone, please make sure you use your chat box. If your client is on bond, the prosecutors and the coordinator will need your client's email address. I'm going to call the names of the attorneys. To all the people who are accused or defendants, your name will not be called. I repeat, your name will not be called. Your attorney's name will be called. If you do not hear your attorney's name, it is because your attorney is Zooming in another courtroom. Trust me, you will get a chance to meet with your attorney. So when I call the attorney's name and you do not hear their name, please do not raise your hand and say, I did not hear my attorney's name, because I just told you, if you do not hear their names, they're Zooming in another courtroom. I'm going to open breakout rooms. When I open breakout rooms, it will invite you to a breakout room. Do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call your name and assign you to that room. To all of the defendants and people who are accused, your attorney is going to want to speak to the prosecutor first. So when they want you invited into the breakout room, they will ask for you. Do not ask if you were supposed to go into the breakout room, because if you do not hear your name called, assigning you to a breakout room, you're not supposed to go to that breakout room. To all attorneys, I'm going to call the list of attorneys. This is the order in which you will appear. For the 187 District Court, the first attorneys who appear are the first attorneys who will go. Linda Corley, Fernando Ramos, Teresa Conley, William Davidson, H. David Sanchez, Nathaniel Navy, Joseph Stetson, Fernando Ramos, Roberto Garcia, and Victoria Cruz. Is there any attorney's name that I did not call?
Yes, Judge.
Sorry.
Yes, Brent Coffey, I have you. Anyone else?
Your Honor, if I could be on the list, please. Victoria Cruz for Raymond Martinez.
Yes, I did put you on the list.
Apologies. Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Anyone else whose name was not called? Okay. Attorneys, when I call your name, I'm going to need the name of your client and whether or not it's criminal trial division or family violence. I'm going to place you in the breakout room. Prosecutors have the ability to see who's in a breakout room and move throughout the breakout rooms. Please be patient. Consider the breakout rooms like a doctor's office. When the nurse calls you back, you're not seeing the doctor. They're just checking your weight and your blood pressure. If you leave the room to tell me that a prosecutor has not been in that room, they're going to look in that room and it's going to show that that room is empty, and they're going to skip over you and go to the next person. So everyone, put some patience in your pocket on Wednesday. And if you don't need the patience that's in your pocket, share it with others. All right, Linda Corley.
Good morning, Judge. I have Vermont Bowie. We were originally wanting to do a plea this morning. However, I received some additional discovery that changes things pretty significantly. So I'd like to talk with the prosecutor. It's CTD.
All right, and is the first name Lamont?
It is.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Fernando Ramos.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Client's name is Romel McKay. It appears he has 2 cases. It's family violence.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Teresa Conley. You're on mute.
I'm sorry. Good morning. I
Good morning.
have Priscilla Lugo, civil trial, MTR.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4.
Thank you.
Bill Davidson.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I have Roland Diaz. He's in jail. We have a PSI sentencing. If I could, I would just like to speak to him briefly first.
I'll send you to breakout room number 5. Roland Diaz, please go to breakout room number 5 to speak with your attorney.
Thank you.
H. David Sanchez.
Good morning, Judge. I have Tydell Wardy. He is on pretrial diversion.
All right, just give us a moment.
Okay.
Nathaniel Navy.
Good morning, Judge. I have Sean White. I believe it's a family violence case. This case is pending at intake, and I just have a travel motion that I'd like for you to consider.
All right. We didn't see you in here, I believe, yesterday, and I thought maybe something has happened because usually you're here every day. We were like worried.
This is the only day this week, and it's not even really something that was technically said ahead of time.
All right, Joseph Stetson.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here for another attorney, Joanne de Hoyos. Her client is George Kelly, Criminal Trial Division, and he's an inmate.
All right, and everyone, when you have your name listed and you have attorney behind it, I only have so much room where I can type everything in to rename you. So when I remove attorney, it is meant as no disrespect. It's like there's not enough room for all the letters. So I'm going to see you to breakout room number 6.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Fernando Ramos. Fernando Ramos. Roberto Garcia.
We're here, Your Honor. My client is set for pretrial diversion. We've submitted the application, everything, but we haven't gotten any follow-up yet with him.
What is your client's name?
Anacleto Garcia.
All right, just give us a moment. We'll be with you. Victoria Cruz.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Cesar George and I may have Orlando Armas Ramirez, but I'm not sure if the last one made it on the docket because I didn't get an invite for him.
Okay, what is the name?
Orlando Armas Ramirez.
All right, we will check on that.
I know Mr. George is on the docket and he is present.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And is Orlando Ramirez CTD?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 7.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're
Tell him to
welcome.
log on. Yes.
All right, Brent Coffey.
Yes, good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
My client is here to address a bond violation report that was filed several days ago.
What's your client's name?
June Barrera.
All right, I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 8. Is that criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal Trial Division.
I'm gonna send you to number 8, and a prosecutor will meet you there to discuss that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, is there any attorney's name that I have not called? Tilden Schaefer?
Good morning, Your Honor. I was a little late. Yes, I have Moses Martinez. He's supposed to be in the courtroom, but I have been unable to get him on the phone since yesterday. So I got held up with another matter. I was going to come down anyway just to make sure, but I don't know if he's out there. This was going to be a plea today, Judge.
Okay. Deputy Laura, is there a Moses Martinez in the courtroom?
No, Your Honor, he is not.
All right, so if you want to zoom back in at 10:30 or,
Yeah, I'll double check on him and then I'll come back in at 10:30. Yes, Your Honor.
all right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, so H. David Sanchez, what is your client's name, please?
Tydell Wardy, Judge.
All right, Norma, can you check on on the pretrial
Yes,
diversion?
I just talked to them. They said it should be done by this week. So we'll call it, I'll reset it for next week, Judge.
All
Just to
right,
make
when,
it off the docket.
what date do you want to set it?
Give me 1 second, Judge. Let me bring up the calendar. I can set it on a Wednesday next week, Judge. Just to make sure it's off already on the 9th. June 9th.
All right, Mr. Sanchez, you're gonna come back, your client's gonna come back on June 9th by Zoom.
Okay, Judge.
And if you have nothing else with us, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, and the other person who was here for a pretrial update?
Judge, on that one, they just sent out the paperwork. They're just waiting for the defendant just to sign the rest of the paperwork.
All right, and that is Roberto Garcia?
Yes, so they'll need a 30-day reset just to make sure everything is done.
Okay.
So that one, I'll bring that one back on July 7th.
All right, we're gonna come back on July 7th on your case. Mr. Garcia and Garcia, so
No relation,
back.
Your Honor.
yeah, okay. So July 7th, correct, Norma?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we'll see you back on July 7th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All
Good
right,
to see you all in here. Thank you.
All right, you two have a good one.
Thank you.
All right, and then the next thing we have a motion to travel. Is that on Jonathan? Oh, Sean White, not Jonathan Boyd. Okay. Let me see if there's someone. Is there anyone from the state here? Have you had a chance to review Sean White's travel request from his attorney, Nathaniel Navy? Anyone? Let me see if there's someone available. All right, do you know if this is criminal trial division or family violence, Nathaniel?
I believe it's family violence, Judge.
Okay, Joe Ray is in a breakout room. As soon as he comes back, I'll take that matter up.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Sure.
And Judge, this is Linda Corley. I'm back for the breakout room when you're ready
Yes.
for me.
Yes, I'm ready.
Judge, so we would like to just be taken off the docket. We had originally thought we were going to do a plea, as I mentioned, but I received some additional discovery that changed things significantly. I did talk with Tom, and he's going to get me another video, which I'm missing, and I'm also going to send him some information via email. So I think, although I thought we had this case worked out, it's premature.
All right, that's fine. And whenever you want to put it back on the docket, just contact the coordinator because we don't set pre-hearings.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
just call her whenever you want it back on the docket.
Yes, Your Honor. May my client and I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you. Vermont, you can leave meeting and I'll call you.
All right, anyone else ready?
If I talk, can she hear me? Judge?
I'm sorry, I muted you. Yes. Could you unmute 187 District Court? Yes.
Okay. Hi, Judge. Alex Sharf here for Tien Nguyen. That was from last week. It was set for a plea. We needed a Vietnamese to English translator.
Yes.
So he is here. I'm here. We're in the courtroom.
All right, Norma, do you have the interpreter?
Let me call,
What's that?
Micah.
All right. All right, just give us a moment.
Okay, here's the go.
And Alex Sharp, has the paperwork been done, or you need the translator for the paperwork as well?
I do need the translator for the paperwork.
All right, just give us a moment.
Certainly.
And they're super sensitive.
Does anyone know, is there a protest or something going on outside?
I don't know, but it's loud.
Okay.
I can hear it too.
Tulsa thing. Tulsa.
It's a beautiful day outside. Christian Newman, you missed yesterday. Someone tried to run a scam on me from CPS Energy.
Uh-oh.
But you know, I made the announcement, so hopefully people will know and they'll let seniors know. But what they did was they called and they said, you didn't pay your deposit because we need to give you a new meter and we're going to cut off your electricity. And I'm sending guys out now.
I think that's the giveaway. Is CPS never has live humans calling you. It's always a condescending robocall.
Yeah. And so, but I did call CPS Energy and they're like, that's a scam. And they said that usually people are embarrassed and they won't report it. And I'm like, if somebody were to take 2 pennies, I'm calling to report that. I don't know what level, you know, can you make that a felony? Somebody stole 2 pennies from me, but yeah. Yes,
A theft
Norma?
of copper, I think, is a felony regardless of weight. So we can make
Okay. Norma, yes.
Can I see you in a breakout room real quick?
Sure, just 1 second. Michael Sawyer, who do you have?
Good morning, Your Honor. I had Jacob Tafoya, and he is a no-show. Is he on your screen anywhere in the chat room or online with you folks?
No, he's not. Just give me 1 moment. All
Yeah.
right, Norma, if you can go to breakout room number 1, please.
You did your hair differently today.
This was a touch screen. I think I made that more on the right side of the screen.
Yes.
Like that. I don't want to touch it. Break it.
Yeah, that is the actual courtroom right there.
It's on all the computers.
Neat looking, isn't
Don't
it?
worry.
Those are the new ones I designed, the old roof.
Okay. So your guy is Tafoya. Let me see.
Yes, ma'am. And he's been in no contact with us, no phone calls, and our letters come back unopened.
Well, on May 19th, you said he had been beat up and was in the hospital.
Right after that, he has never bothered to come show his face in my office.
All right. We can do it 1 or 2 ways. I can call him now, or I can have you Zoom back in at 10:30 and see if he shows up in the courtroom.
If you'll give it till 10:30, give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
And we'll find out I was holding up Mr. Tafoya.
All right. Thank you. And tell your brother I said hi as always.
Great. I was going to say a compliment. This business is out of the way now. Your hair looks really good today.
Oh,
Something different about it.
well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know, I'm a firm believer. I just let my hair do whatever it wants to do. I don't try to control it too much. So
Today is
thank you.
a great hair day.
All right. Thanks. Have a good one. Yes. Anyone back? Okay. And Nathaniel, Joe Ray is still in breakout room number 3 with Fernando Ramos, and I don't see David Martin on the Zoom.
Okay, sounds good, Judge. I'll wait.
All right. Thank you. And Norma, what day was Mr. Cordova reset for? Jeremy Cordova.
The 16th.
All right, thank you. All right, David, can you confer with Nathaniel Navy? He has a motion to allow for travel out of county, and he has the dates where his client will need to travel for work. So Nathaniel, if you'll go to breakout room number 2, David Martin will meet you there. And David, it's on Sean White. David, do you need a cause number? Oh, you're on mute.
I'm looking at his motion right
Okay.
now.
All right, thank you.
Judge, can you tell me who CTD lawyers are waiting in their respective rooms so I can hop around and get some stuff done?
All right, Joseph Stetson is in breakout room number 6 on George Kelly. Victoria Cruz is in 7 on Caesar George, and she said she received notice for an Orlando Ramirez. She's in 7.
Okay.
And Brent Coffey is in 8 on June Barrera.
Okay. 6, 7, 8. Right. I'm on it. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
if you can make me co-host, I'll jump into some breakout rooms as well.
All right, thank you. Thank you for coming in. People love the 187. That is so nice.
Thank Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
My pleasure, Judge. Chris, you want to do breakout room 6? That's less than a gram of Stetson.
Ooh, my favorite.
Judge, can I see you in a breakout room really quick?
Yes. Let me see. If I could meet you in number 1, let me make you co-host. All right, David Martin, you're back on Sean White.
Yeah, there's one date and location, I think, that they need to amend, but once they change that, I mean, we're okay with them going to work. Those
All right,
places.
what date needs to be amended? Does anybody have any objection to the court just writing that in, or is there an issue?
No, Judge.
No, it's just a change in schedule.
All right, and
Judge,
what
they're kicking me out of my office because they're gonna do my carpet. So I'm gonna have to log off and find an office, and I'll log back on in maybe like 5 minutes.
okay, but did you get a chance to choose your carpet color, or is it just the squares that we got?
It's just the squares you got.
Well, let me correct that. They didn't do it in our offices back here, even though it flooded. And Norma's office flooded. We're still waiting on that.
No. Yeah, they probably just got whatever was on clearance and they ran out.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess.
All right. So Nathaniel, then what changes are supposed to be made to this?
The number one, Judge, where it says Houston, Texas, June 3rd to June 7th, that one can be marked out. And if you could put instead Austin, Texas, June 11th to June 13th.
June 11th, June 13th, and you say Austin?
Yes.
Okay. All right, then the court has signed it.
Okay, thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Yes, you and your client are excused. Have a good one, and don't be a stranger.
I won't. I know y'all missed me these last couple of days.
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.
Hey, Judge.
Yes.
I just sent some paperwork to counsel in the court on Ariana Fuentes. There's quite a large file coming through email, so if you don't see that in the next 5 to 10 minutes, let me know, but it probably will take a little bit. Oh, hold on.
All right. I'll see if it comes through.
Judge, this is Teresa. Hunter and I also just confirmed on Priscilla Lugo.
Wait, I'm sorry. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
What it said, you said it's Fuentes, Hunter?
Yes, Judge.
All right, to the clerks in the back, I'm sending you paperwork on Fuentes. Could you please print that out?
Thank you.
That's
Judge.
a part of the STIPs.
Yes, Judge.
Did you interpret? Nope, I don't speak Vietnamese. And then, yes, Teresa Conley.
Your Honor, Hunter and I conferred on Priscilla Lugo. He's juggling a lot of balls this morning, but apparently she's scheduled for an evaluation by Dr. Carswell on Friday. So we're not really in a position to do anything today.
All right, and who is this doctor who's?
Carswell, he's one of the psychs.
Okay. Ms. Lugo? Could you unmute for me, please?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Lugo, you're scheduled for an evaluation on Friday. So we're going to have to recall your case once that evaluation is completed. You understand?
Okay.
All right, Norma, when can we bring her back?
You want to bring her back in 2 weeks, Judge?
Yes.
We'll bring her back on the 23rd.
6:23. Thank you. May I be excused to go to the 437, Lord Judge?
Well, Ms. Lugo, did you need to speak to your attorney or no?
Well, besides the Friday evaluation, do you think that's everything that we have covered?
Yes. So when they come to speak with you, talk to them And I'll make sure that as soon as that report is done, we'll get you back in court. If it's done for us before June 23rd, we'll have you here before June 23rd. But I'm going to ask them to put a rush on it once they speak with you.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right, and Norma, can you make sure you put a rush on them once they speak with her to get that report completed?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Norma, if you can let them know that she can go back, L22.
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Conley, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
I don't like to cause problems.
All right, anyone else ready? Fernando Ramos? Fernando Ramos.
Sorry, Judge, I was trying to get unmuted.
That's okay.
Romal McKay, he's in jail, Judge. He's remanded without bond. It appears he has 2 felonies and 1 misdemeanor. The second felony just occurred on 6/1. I'm not appointed on that case, so I don't have any information, and the ADA didn't have any police report on it as well. But the mother, where the arrest occurred, says that the arrest occurred at her house, and the alleged victim came to her house. So there's a lot of confusion there. My client's 17 years old.
Okay, time out. Your client's not on the screen yet. As soon as he gets on the screen,
Okay.
and they bring him out.
But he wasn't ordered because on the location it states he was out on bond. So when he picked up the violation, he was out on bond. I didn't know he was arrested. So
All
I
right.
was not ordered.
All right, can we recall him for tomorrow, Norma?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're gonna recall your client for tomorrow,
Sure, Judge.
and then we'll handle it that matter then.
And in the meantime, on Night Mag 616842, would you appoint me on that case, Judge?
That will, I'm sure there's not a problem with that.
Okay.
All right, Norma, can you make sure that Mr. Ramos is on his cases?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Ramos, you're excused. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Alex Shar?
Hi, Judge, again. I was just talking to one of the interpreters who was explaining to me that the Vietnamese interpreter is only available by phone call.
Yes.
And so as far as going over the plea paperwork, which we don't have yet, and having the interpreter not be able to read it, it just seems like.
Well, here's the thing. I think the Vietnamese interpreter is only going to be available by phone.
Okay.
Like they're not going to be able to come here.
All right.
So the only way to do it then would be is you can read it and then they will interpret what you read to your client.
That's the alternative that I was thinking that we could do.
Sure.
We need to do the plea paperwork, I guess. I need to get it from David.
All right, just give us a moment. David, they've kicked him out of his office. He should be
Oh,
zooming
that's
back
right.
in like 5 minutes.
I'm not going anywhere, Judge.
And Brenda, since they kicked David out of his office, you can tell that a woman's not in charge. I'm just throwing, a woman would have had this carpet already done. Paint would have been on the walls because time when it flooded, there would not have been this thing where they said, oh, well, let's dry the carpet. Surely we can dry it through the padding that's underneath. There will be no mold or mildew. We just dry. So they spent all this money drying carpet that everybody knew was not going to survive because it's the inexpensive brand anyway, when they could have just got workers in, rip up the carpet, replace it. But Brenda, I only watch HGTV. I'm not a contractor, but I do know when carpet is flooded that there is no, let's just dry the carpet and go on about our business. So That's me on a side note, Alex. I guess people are acting as though they can't pay the deductible. I don't know. I'm sure the buildings are insured.
Okay,
I was
Judge,
like,
thank you.
maybe we needed a barbecue plate sale. I don't know. But all right, Alex, we will make that happen.
All right, thank
And
you,
we'll
Judge.
get the paperwork for you. As soon as David zooms back in, we'll get that paperwork sent to you.
All right, I'll just go ahead and get the paperwork that's here in court, you know, the certificate of appeal and all that.
All right, thank you, Alex, and I appreciate your patience.
Of course, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Brenna, I had to say it. Is there anyone else back from breakout room? Okay. And let me see. Okay, where is Joe Ray Garcia? Let's see. He is not on here as well.
Good morning, everyone. Has anybody heard from Kimball Ward this morning? I have the 705 case with her.
Just one moment. Norma, can you see if you can get Kimber Ward?
She has not. I have already texted her and I've called her several times. No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll see when she zooms in.
You're very welcome.
Judge, I didn't see anyone else for CTD. Do I have that right? I've talked to Joseph.
Let me double check. Nope, there is no one else in the breakout room.
Okay.
And we're just waiting for the other attorneys to sign in.
I will hang out.
All right, thank you. There's supposed to be plea paperwork for Kevin Stryker's client, Ariana Fuentes. So hopefully that's done and that they have it. So we shall see.
Hope springs eternal.
Yeah. All right, Orlando Ramirez, I know you want me and everyone else to know you're at work, but this is the 187 District Court. And if you were here, you would not be wearing that hat and everything else that you're wearing. So, and if you want to call your attorney to see where your attorney is, we're waiting on your attorney.
Judge, may I interrupt?
Yes.
I'm in a breakout room with my client and his video is freezing choppy with George Kelly. I can't effectively talk to him because of technical issues. But my video is fine. I had no problem talking to Christian.
Okay.
I don't know what to do about that.
Norma, can you talk to the jail and see if they can move Kelly? There's something wrong with his video.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll go back to breakout room 6.
All right, thank you.
Judge, and I just sent you an email.
Okay. Let me look at it. All right, and is he on Zoom?
I'm not sure. I just noticed that on the recall docket.
All right, is there an Antonio Rodriguez on Zoom?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, you're having issues paying for your monitor?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just give me one moment.
Okay.
Judge, I've got to pop over to the 144th. I'll be right back.
All right, thank you so much.
Judge, on
Yes.
on the Ariana Fuentes case, I'm having to chop up the attachments because they were too large for Mr. Stryker's Gmail account.
Okay.
So if he's wondering, where's the evidence on this plea? We're working on it.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're gonna need the monitor. You're charged with stalking. I can't have you out there without a monitor. So we're gonna figure out how to accomplish what needs to be accomplished. So just give us a moment, but you need to be on a monitor, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so who is his officer? Do they have any type of
My probation.
financing that can help? Rebecca?
Let me check, Judge.
All right, thank you. Kevin Stryker, who's your client?
Ariana Fuentes, Judge. Ariana Fuentes, and she should be on, Judge, already.
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
It's regular. It's trial division, Judge.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 9.
Okay, Judge, I think we have it worked out. We just have, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, you think it haven't worked out?
I
but-
think we have it worked out, Judge. I was just seeing if maybe we can set it tomorrow or Friday. I got the paperwork and I was just gonna go over with her. She's never had an adult felony before. And so I was just I got the paperwork just a few minutes ago and I was just gonna see if I can get some time to.
Let me send you to a breakout room with Ariana Fuentes. Ariana Fuentes, where are you?
Right here.
Oh,
Do you need me
yes, she is the dot.
I was trying to change it last time, but I don't know how. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no problem. I'm going to change it for you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm going to send you to a breakout room with your attorney. He's in breakout room number 9.
Thank you, Judge.
How do I get to the breakout room?
Oh, it's going to pop up on your screen. Do you see where it pops up?
Okay, yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. David Martin is back. And who needed to speak with David Martin about a plea?
Alex Sharp, Judge.
Yes. All right, David Martin, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with the courtroom. Courtroom, could you go to breakout room number 2, please?
Yes, Judge.
And he's waiting for some plea paperwork, David.
Okay, who is?
Alex Sharp.
On Tien Gwen,
Yes.
we were here last week.
And Kimber Ward, what is your client's name?
Sent him an email.
Kimber Ward.
Judge, she's here for Caitlin, please.
Yeah, what is her client's name?
Sorry, my client's name is Jade West. I apologize, Your Honor.
All right, and
He also has a Melvin Jones.
There's no smoking on Zoom.
Sorry, Your Honor.
We also have a Melvin Jones that was has had about 4 settings. This is like the 4th setting.
So Jade West and Melvin Jones.
Yes, I have Melvin Jones as well. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And so I'm going to send her to a breakout room, number 10. And whoever needs to speak to her can go to 10. Thank you. And David Martin, Alex Sharp, I don't know what the plea agreement was, but he says there's one.
Okay.
And everyone, just give me a moment. All right, I'm back. Who's ready? Victoria Cruz, yes.
Yes, Your Honor, I've conferred with Mr. Nisbet on Caesar George
Yes.
and Mr. Armas Ramirez. I'm not quite sure still if he's on the docket or not, but he is logged on and we did confer on him.
Okay, so Caesar George, we're still headed for jury trial, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. State has forwarded us discovery that we had requested regarding the crash, and we're still on the trial docket.
Okay. All right, Norma, what trial date is Mr. George going to be on?
We didn't put him on the,
It's manslaughter.
okay, Judge. Can you give me just a moment?
Yes.
And Judge, we are ready whenever you are.
All right, just give me one moment.
Yes.
Sorry, Judge, my computer seems to want to be updating at this moment right now. Give me just a second.
Microsoft is on its own time schedule.
So is e-discovery. We haven't been able to access it for like the last 6 days.
Oh, wow.
At all. Yeah.
I wonder who's in charge of that. Brenna, do you know who's in charge of that system?
Not me.
Is it Mr. Smith or is it Mrs. Smith?
Mister. If it's not working.
Judge, are you able to pull up the calendar? I still have that little wheel going.
All right, just give me a moment.
Judge, I just conferred with Kimball on Melvin Jones, but she's
All right,
still waiting.
just give me 1 second.
Oh, sorry, Your Honor.
No problem. I have to see our jury dates. All right, we can put him down for July 22nd. So what we'll do is yes, Norma.
Yeah, that's fine, Judge.
Okay, July 22nd, you need to be in the courtroom on that day, Mr. George. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements at that time. The court will only accept pleas that are open to the court. Do you understand, Mr. George?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, in defense, if there are any motions that need to be heard prior, that needs to be heard prior to that date.
Understood, Your Honor.
All right. And then just 1 second, Mr. George, you're excused. And then Caitlin, you said on Kimber Ward's client.
Yes, Your Honor, we conferred on Melvin Jones. She wanted to speak to another attorney on the other case that she had. I think she accidentally left the meeting and not just the breakout room. So I'm not really sure about her whereabouts. But I believe that she and her client would like a trial in Melvin Jones, but I don't want to speak on her behalf. I just wanted to let you know that we have conferred and we don't have an agreement.
Okay, all right, let me see.
I'll stand by.
All right, thank you, I appreciate it.
Your Honor, I had one.
Yes, you have one more, and that's Mr. Ramirez.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, did you confer with anybody on his case?
I conferred with Tom. He's also a CTD.
All right, do you have a cause number for him?
Yes, Your Honor. 2021 CR 1477.
All right, to the clerks, I need 2021 CR 1477. All right, and Kimber Ward, is Melvin Jones in custody or on bond? You're muted.
He's in custody, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Jones,
Yes, Your Honor.
has your counsel tendered you the offer that the state has made to you?
I would like to talk to her if you don't mind, Your Honor.
Sure, no problem. Kimber Ward, I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 3.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Jones, if you'll go to 3.
Your Honor, Joseph Stateson, sorry to interrupt again.
No problem.
Kelly's
Yes.
computer seems to be fixed, but I need him in breakout room 6.
Okay, Mr. Kelly. I don't see him on the screen.
He's Kelly.
Kelly 171.
Judge, when you're done.
There. Excuse me, everyone. Give me a moment. All right, I'm going to send him to number 6.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Lupe, don't touch anything. All right. Yeah. All right. So what is happening, Victoria, on Orlando Ramirez?
Your Honor, we have to remain on the docket.
I'm here.
He is present.
Mr. Ramirez, I'm speaking to your attorney. Just give me a moment, okay?
I'm sorry, I thought you said you was looking for me or where I am.
No, I see you right there in your work uniform, Miss Cruz.
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, we need to remain on the trial docket. We have received an offer from the state, but for immigration reasons, we cannot take it.
Okay. And has your client had a chance, or have you all spoken to the state? Not for me to interfere in your negotiations, but have you talked to them concerning the immigration issues?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And does your client, has your client spoken to an immigration attorney, or does the court need to facilitate that?
We will, after this last conversation we had with the state, we're gonna ask Mr. Armas Ramirez to check out counsel. If he can't afford counsel, then we will bring a motion.
All right, so we're gonna recall this then. Norma, can you recall this? For June 11th?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna come back on June 11th, Ms. Cruz. I'm gonna extend his plea deadline date because nobody informed the court that there were immigration issues. So come back on June 11th. I wanna know if he can afford an immigration attorney or if he's talked to an immigration attorney. The court needs to know that by that date.
Understood, Your Honor.
And then when he comes back, I'll give him a plea deadline date once he's spoken to an immigration attorney.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you and your client are excused.
Thank
Right.
you.
All right, and now, Mr. Ramirez, you can put on your hard hat. I don't want any
All right.
accidents
Thank you.
occurring.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Judge, when you get a chance, if I could see you in a breakout room.
Okay, just give me a moment. Just 1 second, everyone. Roland Garcia, who do you have?
We have, or we're supposed to have, Mr. Lorenzo Servin for sentencing this morning, Your Honor. Being the optimist that I am, I had filed a motion for continuance because he's having some issues regarding the Texas Workforce Commission dealing with the appellate process. Unfortunately, I got a call from Mr. Servin this morning telling me he's having problems getting to the courthouse. I volunteered to pay for his cab ride down to my office so he could walk to the courtroom. I haven't heard from him.
All right, I give everyone till 10:30. So if you want to zoom out and zoom back in at 10:30.
Very good, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you for your patience.
You're welcome. All right, to the clerks, you should have some more documents coming your way. Please print those out and include them in the STIPs.
Thank you, Judge.
Just one moment. Christopher Castro.
Yes, Judge. I'm appearing on behalf of John Bettis on CM 080.
What's your client's your name?
Jonathan Boyd.
All right, is it criminal child abuse or family violence?
I believe it's family violence, Judge, but I think this was a setting for a motion to withdraw. And
all right, just give me a moment. All right, Rebecca, you wanted to see me in a breakout room? If you'll go back to breakout room number 1, I'll meet you there.
And Judge, can you put me in a breakout room with Caitlin, please?
All right, Caitlin, if you'll go to breakout room number 2.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anyone who could place me in a breakout room 6 with George Kelly? His computer had powered off. The guards put it back on.
Bobby Gibbia. Are you ready for the plea on Mr. Gonzalez?
I am, Judge.
All right, is there a prosecutor available? It's a possession case.
I can do it, Judge.
Thank you.
Judge Boyd, I'm sorry again, there's computer issues. George Kelly's computer turned off. This is the most bizarre day ever.
No, we've had other bizarre days. Joseph, don't claim that.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna fix that. Just give me one moment. Let me do this plea.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna take that up. Maybe they can put him in Mr. Gonzalez's spot once we completed this plea. All right, court is calling 2020 CR 2120, State of Texas versus Carlos Gonzalez. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Tom Nisbet.
for the defense?
Robert Gabriel for the defense.
And are you Carlos Gonzalez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez, I'm going to show you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Just one moment. Counsel, I'm going to show you what's entitled Discovery Acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, and we waive our 10 days to prepare.
All right, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Gonzalez, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
It appears that you're waiving count 2 and proceeding on count 1. Is that correct?
Yes.
Any objections to count 2 being waived?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand what you're charged with in count 1 is possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, penalty group 2, 4 grams to 400 grams. That's a first-degree felony. The range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 5 years to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
You believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Your previous court-appointed attorney on this case was Anthony Smith. For the record, Anthony Smith stated that he was ill on May 3rd and he did not appear. It was recalled for May 5th. He stated he was ill, he did not appear. It was recalled for May 12th. He stated he was ill, he did not appear. It was recalled for May 28th. He stated he was ill, he did not appear. It was recalled for June 1st. He appeared, asked that he be excused for the rest of the day. I asked him to remain, and he asked through my court coordinator that he was still ill, and he asked to be withdrawn from your case. So Mr. Gebbia was appointed to represent you. First, Mr. Gonzalez, do you have any objection to Mr. Smith having been removed?
No, ma'am.
And do you have any objections to proceeding with the attorney, Mr. Gibeah?
No, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on count one only. There's a $1,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication, and there's $57 for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement, Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, ma'am.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, Mr. Smith filed no such motions. Have you filed any motions, Mr. Gibeah?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you what's outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your term of deferred adjudication be for 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 80 hours community service restitution, and a MIC-MILF evaluation. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to count one in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Contest.
No contest?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state, do you have any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea?
We offer Exhibit 1 and attachments.
Any
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements, police reports, and laboratory reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor. We waive PSI.
All right, is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor. We just ask that you follow the plea bargain.
All right, I see there's a request for a MIC-MILF. Is anyone want to address that issue with the court?
Mr. Gonzalez had indicated to me that he was having some mental health issues and that he has some help on the outside, but I think it would be good for him to have someone else to look out for him.
Okay. Mr. Gonzalez?
Ma'am.
All right. Do you have employment? When's the last time you worked?
I get SSI, ma'am, benefits.
Okay, and what is your SSI for?
Bipolar, major depression, and anxieties.
Okay.
Suicidal, ma'am. Sorry about that. Suicidal watch.
Okay. And Mr. Gebbia, you have no concerns that your client is incompetent today?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And are you still with Miss Josephine Gonzalez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 5 years deferred adjudication, $1,500 fine. That will be probated, 80 hours of community service restitution, McMouth evaluation. Rebecca, how long will it take for him to do a McMouth evaluation while in custody?
I think right now it's towards the end of June, beginning of July.
Okay. McMouth evaluation while in custody, proof of SSI within 30 days of release, or proof of employment within 30 days of release. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Random field visits 3 times per month. Mr. Gonzalez, are you able to Zoom? Do you have a cell phone where you can do that or no?
Yes.
All right, regular Zoom reporting. If for some reason you can't Zoom, then it has to be in person.
Okay.
So there should be no excuse for you not reporting. And we'll do random UAs. Rebecca, how long is it if he is out of custody for the McMouth evaluation?
I think it's maybe like a week or 2 difference, Judge.
All right,
Like-
so I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's about a week or 2.
All right, so here's the question, Mr. Gonzalez. If you want to be evaluated for McMouth on the outside, we can do that. But if you miss your McMouth evaluation appointment, what's going to happen is a motion to revoke is going to be filed. And you're going to be right back at the Bexar County Jail. So sometimes I can give people choices. So here's your choice. Do you want to wait and make sure that you have a McMouth evaluation while you're in custody? Or do you want to take a chance that you're going to make good choices on the outside?
Choices. Make good choices outside.
All right, Mr. Gebbia, not to put you on the spot, but you believe your client will be able to make the McMouth appointments?
I do, Your Honor, and I was going to ask for you to release him and let him have that evaluation on the outside.
All right, we'll do McMouth evaluation out of custody, but Mr. Gonzalez, if you miss that appointment, I'm going to receive notice that you missed it, and you're going to be placed in custody. You understand?
Your Honor.
So you're going to have to make good choices.
Miss Honor,
Yes.
can I ask a question? What does that McMouth start off with? I don't know. What is that, like a job program?
No. McMouth is to help with any type of mental health issues.
Okay.
Sometimes, people who are in gangs, they need to be on a different supervision. People who may have mental health issues or physical disabilities, they need to be on a different type of supervision.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right, Rebecca, is there anything else he needs?
No, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, are you on any type of medications?
Yes, I am, ma'am.
All right, how often have you used drugs in the past?
I don't do drugs, ma'am. To be honest with you, the only thing I do is only smoke weed.
All right, well, people say that weed is a drug. I mean, even though you can, I guess, grow it in your backyard, it's illegal. So you can't smoke marijuana. You can't drink alcohol. You can't do any of that while you're on probation. If you do, I'm going to receive a motion. So you're going to have to give up all of those vices, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else that you need from the court that would help you be successful on this deferred adjudication, Mr. Gonzalez?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, good luck to you. From here on out, every decision you make, you need to ask yourself, is this a decision that could possibly result in me going to prison for the rest of my life? You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, with that, we'll close the record. And I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. And our Probation officer will go over conditions with you. Mr. Gebbie, I'm going to send you to one, but if you want to be excused, you can be excused.
Well, I still have Mr. Rigel, who's in custody there, so I'd like to confer with him, with the prosecutor who'll be handling his case.
All right. So Mr. Gonzalez, if you could go to breakout room number 1.
Answer.
And yes, just go to number 1, Mr. Gonzalez.
Okay.
Thank you. And then Bobby Gebbia, let me find you on the screen. You have Mr. Rigel.
Yes, Mr. Rigel.
Is that criminal trial division or family violence?
Let me take a look here in my file.
Judge, are you ready for me to join him now, or do you need me to wait?
Yes. Yes, if you could join him now. I'm trying to find. Okay, it's family violence. So I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4. And if someone from family violence could go to number 4. All right, Caitlin, Kimber Ward, Mr. Jones, what's happening with Mr. Jones?
Your Honor, we still have not come to a plea agreement on that one, but my client does want to go over the videos, and I've had difficulty finding a way to make that happen. I was wondering if you could maybe bring him over like at the end of the week, and I could share screen, watch the videos with him.
Oh, you can actually share screen on here.
I know, you're right. I just don't have the ability to play the video at this exact moment because I am in a hotel and moving, and I don't have a place to stay other than this hotel for the next 2 days. I don't have anything that plays DVDs that I could share screen with.
Okay. All right, Norma.
Hey, I will have it.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Ms. Ward?
I was saying I could do it either Thursday, Friday, or next week. Set up by then.
All right,
I
Norma,
can get the computer moved.
All right, Norma, let's do this. On Thursday, is it Ms. Ward? Is there any way you can be in the courtroom?
I can do that. Yes, yeah. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, to the courtroom.
Yes, Judge.
Deputy Laura, you are our tech expert. Is there
I could
any...
be there if you wanted me to be there today.
If
I could do that.
Are we able to use the computers in the courtroom so that Ms. Ward can share her screen and go over the videos with her client?
Yes, Judge, we can.
All right, so you're saying you can be here this afternoon, Ms. Ward?
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor, I can.
All right, Norma, is there any way we can do this at 2? Do we have room in our schedule for that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Jones, we're going to have you come back at 2 so your attorney can go over the videos with you. And then Ms. Wilkes, what we will do, if they come to an agreement after she's gone over the videos with him, we will call you.
Okay, Your Honor. And if for some reason that doesn't occur, can we, I guess, we'll get with Norma for a trial date?
Yes.
Okay. All righty, Your Honor. I'll be on standby. I have my phone. Let me know. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Jones, we're going to bring you back at 2 p.m. so your attorney can show you the videos, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And Kimber Ward, you have someone else with us?
Yes, I needed to speak with the state and see if there's any change on the offers since the last time we were here.
Okay, who is your other client?
Jade West. Because she picked up another charge, so I need to talk to the state.
All right, is she
If they've
criminal
talked
trial
to him
division or
anyway on that
family
one.
violence?
She has one criminal trial division. Her other case, but it's a
All
misdemeanor.
right. All right, could someone from criminal trial division go to breakout room number 5 with Ms. Ward, please?
I'm away.
Yes. All right. Brent Coffey on Juan Barrera or June Barrera, what's going on?
Yes, Judge. I conferred with the state. We're here on a violation report. She does have a new number one. She said she was reporting to someone, but maybe she needs to report to more than one person. I'm not sure, but she is here right now.
Just one moment. Let me see if I can find her. Yeah.
She can't hear you. She can.
All right. Did you confer with the state on this case?
Yes, Judge.
Who were you conferring with?
Hunter Morris.
All right. So what is going to happen with this underlying case? Because she's here for a robbery and a theft.
That's right. I am not the attorney on the robbery. That case is still unindicted. It sounds like they don't have all their evidence yet. We have an agreement to just admonish her to continue to report to whoever she needs to report to with pretrial services and to comply with current conditions.
And Judge, we didn't talk about the robbery. The offense date of that robbery is May 9th. And so the point was, if there was any discussion that needed to happen, the other attorney would need to be present, I suppose. This is Meredith is the appointed attorney on the robbery.
Okay.
It looks like there's a bond set with conditions on that robbery. And then I just leave it to the court on the underlying theft cases PR bond.
Okay. All right, Miss June Barrera, where are you? Can you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Barrera, I want to explain something to you. I don't take any of this, the underlying offenses as true because I haven't received any evidence. But what I do have before me is that you're charged with a theft that is alleged to have occurred on March 30th, 2021.
Yes,
and now you're charged with a robbery that's alleged to have occurred on May 9th, 2021. You understand? Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, whoever heard your robbery case, they decided to release you on a $10,000 bond with conditions of no contact with Family Dollar Store. Do not come back here with another offense. You understand?
I won't. I won't.
I mean, well, I'm sure you told the judge that when you got the PR bond for the theft case. So do not come back here for that. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that you're to have no contact with the Family Dollar Store at 6110 West Commerce. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that you are not to have possession of any firearms. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And no possession of ammunition. I'm adding that. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so that's your agreement for her to continue state on bond?
With the new conditions in bond, yes, Judge, in that robbery.
Okay.
And I believe there were some recommendations for the underlying. Let me pull that back up. There was some kind, I guess they were trying to do a mental health evaluation and they had been unable to complete that, Judge, because of the non-compliance. So I just asked that whatever evaluations and conditions they had initially attempted on the underlying, those be continued.
Okay, and so I want to ask, who decided to close all breakout rooms? Somebody who's co-host closed all breakout rooms. Is anyone going to own that? Oh, Christian, I need you to put on your Sherlock Holmes hat.
Okay.
Someone who's co-host accidentally touched stuff and they're closing all breakout rooms.
It was me. I hit the wrong button. I'm so sorry. I was coming out to confess, but I guess you already figured it out. Darn it.
No.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Jack.
you know what? No, that's fine. Christian,
I messed up.
Christian, I appreciate that you confess because that has happened before and you have not been on here. And it was like a scene from Malcolm in the Middle. Nobody who was a co-host would confess.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I messed up.
Okay, I've opened all the rooms again, so everybody go back to your room.
I'll go back to my
So
room.
everyone, please go back to where you were.
Your Honor, Joseph Staten, were you going to have the jail deputy switch Kelly into Mr. Gonzalez's chair?
Yes,
Or do
Norma, can you have them switch Kelly because there's something wrong with his equipment?
Oh, yeah, I did ask them, but they didn't switch him out.
I don't know.
All right, let me see.
It looks like he's different.
Yeah, they switched me out.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Mr. Kelly, I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 6. Hopefully third time will be the charm.
Yeah, thank you, Judge.
All right, Meredith, you're here on your client, June Barrera.
Yes, Your Honor, and I apologize for being late. I already had an appointment set this morning in person, so I got here as soon as I could. Yes, and I believe she's on the call, and we spoke yesterday.
Yes, so I've given her her lecture,
Okay,
but I'm adding that she's to have no firearm possession
okay,
or possession of ammunition.
okay.
And then I'm adding what they added in the robbery case, which is no contact with Family Dollar at 6110 West Commerce.
Okay.
And I'm being told that there's supposed to be some sort of mental health evaluation, but for some reason she hasn't been making the appointments.
I
Yes.
believe She has spoken to her pretrial officer since that was filed, and they have made the appointment, but if they're on, they can speak to that. That was what we talked about yesterday, is she's got that evaluation set up, is my understanding.
When is it scheduled? Does anyone know?
June 11th, I'm sorry.
11. I was going to say May 11th already happened, June.
I'm sorry.
We're good.
Okay. All right, I'm putting on here defendant to attend June 11th mental health appointment. So if you missed that, I'm going to get a violation report. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if there's nothing else, Mr. Cohn, I'm being told that there's some outstanding discovery or something on the robbery, and the robbery has not been indicted yet.
Yes, that is true.
All right, so if anyone wants this put on the docket, because the court does not have pre-hearings, if anyone wants this put on the docket, then defense, you're more than welcome to put it on the docket.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
All right. And then Tilden Schaefer, you're in the courtroom?
Yeah, hi, Your Honor. Yeah, I've come down. I can't find my client, so unfortunately, this
All
is
right.
Moses Martinez.
All right, just give me a moment. Meredith Chacon and June Barrera, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge. Nice to see you again.
Thank you, you too. And who is the other attorney on her case?
Mr. Coffey.
All right, Mr. Coffey, you're excused as well.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too. And Christopher Castro, you've been patiently waiting.
Yes, Judge. I just logged in to let you know that we were going to withdraw our motion to withdraw.
Oh, why are you withdrawing your motion to withdraw?
It looks like John spoke with the client. They cleared up the issues with the payment plan, and we're going to stay on the client's case.
See, aren't you happy that it took you a while?
No, John told me to, in the morning, just log in, that this has been, we've known that we were going to withdraw the motion since yesterday.
Oh, well, thanks for letting the court know.
I'll let John know that it's
Tell
his
John,
fault.
Brenda, tell him thanks for letting us know. All right, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
You have a good day.
You too.
Judge, I needed to go in a breakout room with Jade West. I ended up in a room with the wrong person.
No, is Jade West, is she on bond?
She says she is.
All right, where's Jade West? She's not on the Zoom.
They might put her in a breakout room because I was in a different breakout room, and then there was
I'm
a
right
different-
here.
There she is.
Okay. All right, Jade West. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 7.
Okay. Okay.
All right, and Tilden Schaefer, who's your client? Moses Martinez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there a prosecutor available?
Yes, Judge.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 7235, State of Texas versus Moses Albert Martinez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hunter Morris for the state.
For the defense?
Tilden Schaefer.
We're
Ms.
proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None from the state, Judge.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Court will note for the record that defense counsel is in the courtroom. This hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:34 a.m. Mr. Moses Martinez, for the record, has not appeared on the Zoom screen. Deputy Laura, has there been a Moses Albert Martinez in the courtroom at all today?
No, Your Honor, he has not.
All right, defense, have you had any contact with your client?
Not in the last couple of days. I did last week, Judge.
All right, state.
Judge, state would ask the court to forfeit the bond and issue a warrant.
All right, that'll be granted, and I'll remand your client without bond. If you have any contact with your client and you present him to the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be
All right.
excused?
Yes.
All right, thanks.
All right, Kevin Stryker.
Judge, we got the first level paperwork. Norma sent the second one. We're still, it's getting its way to my client. She was just asking, she asked that I ask to see if we can do the plea sometime either next week or tomorrow or Friday, just to give her more chance to look over the paperwork. If not, she's willing to do it today.
All right, let's get it done. We're all here.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, Bill Davidson.
Yes, Your Honor. We're ready on Roland Diaz.
And is your client in custody?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, who are the prosecutors on this case? It's a robbery.
Which case is this, Judge?
It's Roland Diaz.
I can step in. Is this a plea?
No, it's sentencing, but the state is silent.
Oh, okay. Then I can step in and stand here, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 1482, State of Texas versus Roland Diaz. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Hunter Morris for the state.
For the defense?
William Davidson.
All right, and are you Mr. Diaz?
I am.
All right, we're proceeding by video with this sentencing because of the pandemic. The court will note for the record that on May 3rd, the defendant entered his plea by video. Is there any objections with this sentencing proceeding by video? State?
None from the state, Judge.
No
Defense?
objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Diaz, any objections to the sentencing proceeding by video?
No, ma'am.
All right, according to the plea bargaining agreement, the state proceeding on the lesser included offense of robbery, punishment being assessed at a cap of 10 years. The state is silent on your applications for deferred adjudication or community supervision. And the state would take into consideration 2021 CR 1483. And the defendant has applied for deferred adjudication and also community supervision. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
I have, Your Honor.
All right, any objections to the PSI report?
No, Your Honor.
None, Judge.
Then the state is silent. Defense, you may proceed. Do you have any witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. May I have my client Roland Diaz sworn in, please?
All right, Mr. Diaz, could you unmute yourself and raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Do.
All right, you can lower your hand, and if you could state your full name for the record, please.
Roland Diaz.
All right, defense.
Mr. Diaz, do you know why you're here today?
I do.
And this has to do with a robbery case, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what store was this involved in?
A Dollar General, sir.
And to the best of your knowledge, were the items recovered?
They were.
And how old are you?
42.
And would you rather be on deferred adjudication, probation, or regular probation or go to prison for this?
A deferred adjudication. I would not want to go to prison, sir.
Do you have a drug issue?
I was on methadone and I relapsed.
And where were you getting this methadone from?
A clinic right by Haven for Hope.
And this robbery, did it occur during the relapse?
It did.
And how do you feel about your actions on that day?
Actually, I'm sorry to everybody. I mean, it's not what I wanted. I was sick and I needed some money.
Now, if this judge puts you on probation and tells you to do weekly UAs or any kind of a treatment program, are you going to comply with that?
Yes.
And you understand that if you don't, you could be revoked and get the maximum on this, which is up to 20 years if you're on deferred adjudication. Do you understand that?
I understand that.
And knowing that, do you still want to apply for deferred adjudication?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else you want the judge to know? I've asked all the questions I can think of here.
I just want to say that I'm sorry to everybody, and I know that I can do this. I've got tons of work to do. You know, like I said, I'm sorry, and I just need a chance to prove myself to you, to everybody else, and to myself. Thank you.
Okay, do you have your eyes closed or are you just looking down?
My eyes are open.
Okay, because I can't see your eyes when you're talking there. Can you just repeat briefly what you just said?
I said I need a chance, prove myself to everyone, especially to myself, my family.
And
I know I can do this. I know I can do this.
I'm sorry, I thought about one more question that we went over. You have a job, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what kind of work do you do?
I'm a painter.
Okay. Judge, other than questioning this witness, I don't have any more witnesses.
All right, I have a few questions. So this is your criminal history, Mr. Diaz. So December 13th, you committed theft, you did jail time. July 14th, 2014, you did jail time. And then you have this felony theft and you were placed on deferred adjudication. I'm sure at that time you told them that you were changing your ways. Is that correct? Mr. Diaz, you need to unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you were given deferred adjudication for a theft, I'm sure you told that judge you were changing your ways.
I did. I was a lot younger then, naive.
So what's you're only 6 years younger. No, actually, yeah, you were only 6 years younger. So yeah. So how often have you been using drugs?
For a good while, ma'am.
I don't understand what that means. I haven't been in your life. How often have you been using drugs?
For the last, I'm going to say about 10 years, off and on. I was clean, sober for a while, good while.
What does that
Till I
mean?
relapsed.
A while. Again, I'm not in your life.
I was clean for 4 years until I relapsed.
All right. So here's the thing. Some people I can't give choices. I'm going to give you a choice. Either way, what happens today, you're not leaving custody. I can put you on probation, and I'm not going to give you deferred because deferred is usually for people who haven't been in trouble before. You have theft cases in your past. So here's your choice. I can give you regular probation. You're going to safety. You're staying in custody till they transport you to safety. Or I can send you to prison for 5 years. Which would you prefer? Do you want to discuss it with your attorney?
Please. Yes, ma'am.
Sure. All right. So remember, it's either 5 years in prison or you are going to safety. Sending you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Rolanda Garcia, you have Mr. Servin. You're on mute, Mr. Garcia.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, Judge. Yeah,
Hi.
I talked to my client and heard his wife in the background saying that they're on their way. So if you can ask the bailiff to check to see if they've arrived yet.
Okay, as soon as they come, the deputy will put it in the chat box to me. James Toshi,
Good morning, Judge Boyd.
good morning. Who do you have?
I am here on Madison Delosier. It is a sentencing.
All right, just give me one moment. And Melissa Christian, who do you have?
1 second. Judge, I have Michael Ruano, and I got an invite for 9, and I know I also have an invite for 2 p.m. for a contested MTR, so I thought I better zoom in just to make sure.
It's 2 p.m.
Okay, all right, I'll just be back at 2 p.m.
And I don't recognize you, Miss Christian, because I don't see you wearing your usual pins. You and I are the only people at the courthouse who wear pins. So when I don't see you with it, I'm like, who is this stranger?
I'm gonna do better, Judge. I'm not even wearing shoes at this moment, so let's just I'll do better. I'll do better.
Okay. All right. We'll see you at 2.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. And Joseph Stetson. Mr. Kelly.
Yeah, yes. I was just texting Christian in chat box. Judge George Kelly has accepted a plea offer. We need plea paperwork generated. So
Okay.
all right.
All right. Thank you. And then James, just give me 1 second. Let me get Mr. Sandoval in the breakout room. Then I'll take you up. Sandoval, where are you? Frankie Sandoval.
Good morning, Judge. I apologize. This computer has a side tab that turns the camera on and off, and sometimes it turns off when I don't realize.
All right, who do you have?
I have Mr. Pouch, Mr. Aaron Pouch.
And is that criminal trial division or family violence?
I believe, as the allegations currently stand, family violence, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4, and a prosecutor will meet you there.
I do appreciate it, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. And James Toshi, I'm sorry, what is your client's name?
Madison Delosier, Judge.
All right, is there could I see you and the prosecutor in a breakout room, please?
Yes,
Who are you working with?
Tom Nisbet.
All right, Tom Nisbet, can you go to breakout room number 2, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Brenda, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. All right, the court is going to call 2020 CR 5941, State of Texas versus Madison McKenzie Delozer. We're going to have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Tom Nisbet.
for the defense.
James Tochi for Ms. Delozier, Judge.
And are you Ms. Delozer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Judge.
And the court will note for the record that the defendant entered a plea of no contest to count one on April 15th, 2021, and that was done by video, and the defendant consented to appear by video. According to the plea bargaining agreement, the state waived count 2, 3, and 4 without objection. And her punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison, and the state is recommending community supervision. Have all parties had a chance to review the PSI report? State?
Yes.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report? State?
None.
Defense?
I wouldn't say objections, Judge. There are a couple items in there I certainly would like to amplify for you.
Yes. Defense, what are there objections or no objections or corrections?
There are no objections, Judge. Just I'll discuss it at the appropriate time with you.
All right. State, do you have any witnesses?
Only victim impact, Your Honor.
All right. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
I don't believe I'm actually going to call a witness, Judge. What I do want to make you aware of is I know you can see Ms. Delozier is here.
Yes.
She's seated right next to me. A few feet away is her father, Mr. Perry Delozier. He is also present. And then off camera behind me, and I don't know if you want to come over, Amkar. One of the listed complainants in the indictment, his name is Amkar Khanna, is also present, Judge.
All right. And so, Mr. Toshi, you said that, but you did not spell that.
His spelling is O-M-K-A-R, Amkar. Last name is K-H-A-N-N-A.
Okay. So I wanted to make sure Brenna had that.
Understood. My apologies to you and Brenna. And so they are all here in the conference room with me, Judge. Online, you'll find her mother, Ms. Faulkner. I believe she is there watching right now. She lives out of state in South Carolina, I believe. And so real briefly, Judge, kind of cutting to some of the issues. You know, there is a portion in the PSI that seems to suggest that Ms. Delozier is somehow minimizing her role or guilt in this. And let me tell you, there could be no bigger misstatement. Madison is a young lady that I've known for about 5-6 years now. I cannot even begin to tell you, and she's going to tell you herself, how devastating this has been for her on a personal level, and what an incredible level of guilt that she lives with daily. She has never minimized her behavior, her conduct, or her role. She accepts and has always accepted full responsibility for her consequences and actions that night, every step of the way. And so I certainly do not want the court to feel that she is placing blame on anything or anybody other than Madison Delozier. She is a very bright and articulate young lady. I can tell you that from knowing her for the past 5 years. I know her family. I've met her mother several times and her father. We've spoken on numerous occasions. She has a wonderful family and a support network. You know, Madison is a bright girl with a future and with plans and with goals and dreams. She has a very pure heart, and I can't, you know, begin to express to the court and to the Lozano family how deeply, regrettably sorry that she is, that we are all here together right now. You know, she's going to say a few words that she's been wanting to say to the court and to the family. We are obviously here asking that you follow the agreement. You know, the only thing that I could share with Madison is serious, and as awful as this situation is, you know, one of the best things you can do, you know, to honor that young man is is to do right every day on this probation personally and for the family. She did not know him very well, but she certainly knew of him and certainly had nothing but good things to say about him. So she has spent about 10 days in my office, and every time she cries her eyes out. She has no words that will make the Lozano family probably feel better or certainly address the loss. But what I can tell you is there's been so much growth in her on a personal level. She's going to adhere to every condition you set out for her, Judge. And that's it. The only other item I wanted to address, Your Honor, is there is a recommendation she be evaluated for what is now the new MyOff, the DDRF. What I can tell you is she spent almost 8 months in custody. She's now been out almost another 8 months on a GPS. She's done exemplary on that. She is employed. She plans to educate herself. She has a wonderful support network. I would encourage the court to have her evaluated, but at this particular time, she is not, she has no drug or drinking issues. She needs to get her mind straight and will, but I certainly do not feel that she needs to be placed in a residential facility for any of the issues, but I will allow the court to address that. That's all I have to say, Judge. I talked a lot longer than I thought I would. I believe Madison would like to say a few words. I don't know if you want to have her sworn in. She just wants to address the court and the family.
Could you raise your right hand for me, please? You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, you can lower your hand. If you could state your name for the record, and I'm gonna need you to speak up so the court reporter can hear.
Yes, ma'am. Madison Delosier.
All right, defense, did you want to do a question and answer, or is there something that your client wished to just say?
This is more of an allocution, Judge, so I'm just going to let her speak from her heart. I really don't have any questions, and Mr. Nisbet is aware that we were going to do this, so I would just like for her to talk.
All right, you may proceed then, Ms. Delosier.
There aren't words that I can say that will ever express the deep sorrow and sorry that I feel for the Lozano family and Miss Lozano. My choices and my actions impacted you in ways that I will never, ever understand or feel. And I understand that the loss of a child is a parent's worst nightmare. And sorry is not enough to say. However, I want you to know that I will always honor Raphael's life, and he is a constant thought in my mind. That's all.
All right, anything else?
I don't have anything else to offer, Judge. We just ask that you follow our agreement.
Okay, just give me one moment. Ms. Reyes?
Yes, ma'am.
This is cause number 2020 CR 5941.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to follow your plea bargain agreement. I'm going to sentence you to 6 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 10 years. There is listed in the PSI a restitution amount of $6,237.51 to Crime Victim Services Division. Is there any objection to that?
No, Your Honor. The CVC covered the expenses. Ms. Lozano confirmed that she has no out-of-pocket restitution to the CVC. So if the court chose to order that restitution, it would be to the CVC who already indemnified Ms. Lozano.
All right, defense, any objection?
I mean, I'm not going to object, but I would ask you to consider, I don't know if it's the court's policy or practice to do that, but I also read in the PSI that they're not requesting restitution, but I know that money was paid out by that fund to the family, so I'll defer to the court. She works full-time at a car wash, and so her funds are very, very limited. And I'm being completely as respectful as I can to the family. But I will defer to the court on that issue.
All right. Well, here's the thing, Ms. Delosier. That fund money has to be paid out of that fund. So that means that money needs to come back into that fund. And money is being taken out of that fund to cover actions by people. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So what I will do is, Mr. Toshi, when you go in a breakout room with probation, if you all can figure out what a payment plan schedule for her is, but I want her to at least financially pay some of that money back to make sure that that fund is replenished for other victims and complainants.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, there's a $1,500 fine. That will be probated. $120 hours of community service restitution. DWI education course. DIP. There's ignition interlock listed on here, but no one has recommended a time for ignition interlock. Was there an agreement to that or not an agreement? Or any recommendations from either side?
Judge, I would say we could start with the preliminary recommendation of half the term, the traditional half term. And then based on the defendant's compliance during the probation, we can revisit the issue after sort of a good faith time period. Defense counsel was correct in representing to the court that the defendant did do 8 months day for day. And then she's also been on GPS with no violations, high bracs, things like that. So she has a pretty good track record going with the court thus far of compliance. So we could definitely revisit that issue down the road.
All right, and I've noted on the my docket sheet. So ignition interlock for half the term, and that half term can be revisited at a later date. I'm going to do a 2-year Texas driver's license suspension. If your client wants to drive, Mr. Toshi, you know how to make that happen.
Yes, ma'am.
Or for the court to consider. I'll consider motions that are presented to me. Proof of employment. Within 30 days. 120 hours of community service restitution, which I've already ordered, or completion of a higher degree or some type of trade school. And there's to be no employment as a home health care provider or any employment that involves supervision of minors. We'll do a MIC evaluation and follow results. I'm going to do a referral to felony drug court. I'm going to do regular Zoom reporting. Mr. Lozier, are you able to report by Zoom?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, it's going to be regular Zoom reporting. If for some reason something happens and you can't report by Zoom, you're going to have to report in person. So I always say regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There'll be random UAs. Is she on some type of device?
She has a GPS. Are we talking about alcohol monitoring? I'm sorry.
Yes, yes, alcohol monitoring.
Yes. Yes, she does. It is a.
It's a Smart Start. It's a mobile. It's
Yeah,
not
she has the Smart Start, Judge, and.
All right, so in lieu of random UAs, we're going to continue with Smart Start. Of course, you can approach the court later and then maybe the court may consider doing something other than Smart Start, but for now to be Smart Start. Rebecca, is there anything else that she needs?
No, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Lozier, is there anything that you need from the court in order to be successful on this probation that I have not thought of or given you?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Yes.
I'm so sorry. Mr. Nisbet, I do not believe is opposed. She's had a GPS as a condition of pretrial bond. I think we're both in agreement to recommend to the court it be removed at this point.
State?
Yes, Judge. She's going to be on her Smart Start. She's going to have appropriate alcohol testing and monitoring. She doesn't need a GPS unit, which was a condition of the bond she made when released on bond from that 8 months custody. So we are okay with the court removing that, subject to the court's discretion.
Okay, and there have not been any violations on GPS, correct?
No.
Before I say no, let me just run down the screen one more time here. No, Judge.
All right,
No,
then the
no,
court will order removal of GPS. All right, so we're going to go off the record. Mr. Lozier, how old are you?
I'm 23 years old.
All right, so I think you now understand that choices you make can have major consequences and impact everyone else's life in a negative manner. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
From here on out, when you're on probation in this courtroom, every decision that you make, you need to ask yourself, is this something that could result in me going to prison? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So my understanding there's victim impact.
Yes, Your Honor. The mother of Rafael, Miriam Lozano, is on Zoom with us. I think she's at work, I think. So I think I see her walking out to a place where she can talk.
Okay. All right, so this is going to be victim impact. It's the 187th District Court. I require everyone, treat everyone with respect. Mr. Lozier, you need to listen, internalize what's being said to you. All right, Ms. Lozano, you may begin.
Hi. So just wanting to say that I appreciate what you've said. And whatever the court decides, obviously decisions for your punishment, it is what it is. I wish you the best of luck. And honestly, I have no real ill feelings towards you. I hope you do always realize how much you've impacted me. That was my baby of two. And that's all I have to say.
All right, thank you for coming, Ms. Lozano. State, was there anyone else? I see Christina Lozano that's on the Zoom as well.
I don't know. Miriam, is that your daughter?
Yes, that is. Mm-hmm.
Does she want to say something too?
All right, Christina Lozano, could you please start your video?
Wait, why is he not letting me?
Christina Lozano?
Yes.
Yes, we don't see your video.
Let me see.
But I mean, we can proceed without your video if both parties are okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Defense, are you okay with us proceeding without video?
Absolutely, Judge.
All right, Miss Christina Lozano, we can hear you.
Okay. I just want to say that I appreciate the words that you said. And it was really hard losing my brother. And I just hope that you can have a better life and, be successful. And I just hope that you understand that everything that you do can cause pain and damage to other people. So I hope for the best for you. And that's really all I can say.
All right. Thank you so much for coming. All right. Is there any other victim impact, Mr. Nesbitt?
No, Your Honor. And then Miriam, I'll text you and then send you an email after this. Follow up.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
So, Mr. Toshi, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. Probation will meet you there and go over conditions. And if you'll just be patient in there, Ms. Reyes, if you could remain for a moment, please.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time, Judge.
Thank you. All right, Bill Davidson, on your client, Mr. Diaz, does he want to do prison or does he want to do treatment?
Your Honor, my client respectfully does want to do treatment, but he has been in there 7 months and he's asking that he be released pending a bid.
No. He is staying in custody. Mr. Diaz, could you unmute yourself, please?
Yes, ma'am.
You can either stay in custody to be transferred to inpatient treatment, or you can stay in custody to be transferred to prison. Here's the thing. Everybody who has a drug or alcohol problem, they want to write their own program. I can do outpatient. Let me do outpatient. I'm going to tell you what I've told people time and time again. If you could write your own program, guess what? You wouldn't have went to that store and you wouldn't have robbed it. You wouldn't have committed all those other thefts. Writing your own program is why you're at the Bexar County Jail right now. So you're old enough. How old are you?
42.
You're 42 years old. So either you want drug treatment, which is going to happen at SafeP, or either you want to go to prison for 5 years, and after you get out of prison for 5 years, you can try it on your own again.
Either safety.
Okay. We're back on the record in 2021 CR 1482. The court is finding you guilty. Court is sentencing you to 10 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 8 years. There's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. Going to order that he go to SafeP, and it may end up being SafeP special needs, Rebecca. Take in consideration 2021 CR 1483. Refer to felony drug court upon release from SafeP. So I want him to actually go to SafeP, and then he can be interviewed for felony drug court. There's to be weekly reporting upon release from custody until further notice. And if he's accepted in felony drug court, then felony drug court may decide that they don't want him to do weekly reporting. But if not, he's going to do weekly reporting with probation. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Field visits, random, 3 times per month. UA hotline, 200 hours of community service restitution. How far did you go in school, Mr. Diaz?
To the 10th.
I don't know why you're dropping out of school. Why did you drop out of school in the 10th grade?
I got expelled
Why were you expelled?
of skipping classes.
Why were you skipping classes? And why do I have to pull teeth and pluck a chicken? Just tell me why you did not complete school. You dropped out. You didn't go to school. Why were you not doing any of this?
I dropped out, ma'am.
All right, which
Expelled.
gang were you involved with?
Not a gang affiliate.
Okay, we're gonna see about that. All right, I'm gonna want gang supervision evaluation. And Rebecca, is there anything else that he needs?
No, ma'am, it looks like everything.
All right, Mr. Diaz, anything else that you need from this court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Diaz, from here on out, every decision you make, you need to ask yourself, is this something that could result in me going to prison for 10 years? Do you understand?
I do.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. Rebecca, if you could go to number 1, please.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Davidson, if you don't have anyone else with us, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank you. And Joseph Stetson, you're back.
Christian is trying to help us. We don't know why, but before we could go over plea paperwork, Mr. Kelly's computer disconnected, and he's not in Zoom at all. So, but Christian's working on it. We have paperwork. Joanne signed it. We just need to go over it with Kelly.
Okay, awesome. To the courtroom on Alex Shar. Since the interpreter is on the phone, if they can actually call into the Zoom, and I'll let them in, and we can do it that way.
He's here. Alex is here.
Judge,
Yes.
so the interpreter service, they are only available over the phone.
Yes, if they just call in, we can do it by the phone.
Okay, we have to call them, and there's a special code and all that I got from the interpreter service. So
okay,
just working out the details on this. So David sent me the plea paperwork. I signed it, but my client hasn't signed it. He's here, of course. We can old school sign it and turn it in.
Oh yeah, let's do old school.
Okay, all right. And then whenever we're in front of you doing the plea, do you want my client on the phone listening to the interpreter, or do you want it on speaker phone?
Do we have speaker abilities out there or no? Because your client needs to
On
appear
my
on-
cell phone, probably. I can put my cell phone on speaker.
Oh no, if your client is on your client will be able to hear the interpreter. So your client can be in the courtroom standing. He'll be able to hear the interpreter on the Zoom.
Okay, I'm sorry, Judge. The interpreter is only available on the phone.
No, that's what I'm saying. Ed Piker has called from a landline and
All right.
Zoomed into court. Thank you, Ed Piker. See, everyone, we used to say, Ed Piker, can you get on Zoom? He's like, I only have a landline. So Ed Piker you're able to Zoom in here on a landline.
Okay.
So, but we won't have a video from the interpreter, but we will have their voice on the Zoom.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We're just waiting to get the paperwork to my client to sign. Well, I'll do it old school. I don't have the stips down here. I know David said I could print them at the clerk's office.
Yes.
My email, Judge.
Okay, if the stips are in your email, Deputy Laura, and if you want to email it to me or email it to the clerks, we can print it out. However you guys want to do it. I can print it out from back here. Somebody emails the stips to me and they don't have any objection to me printing it out.
I don't have any objections. I don't think David does, but
I think Norma was asking if you want to send the stips to her email. She can have the defendant go up to the court and they can have the defendant sign them through.
Great.
Norma's
Who's the prosecutor?
David Martin.
David, can you send the stips to Deputy Laura's computer? Okay, everybody. Today is Wednesday. Let's keep it a Wednesday. Let's not try to make this into a Monday. And David is.
Let's go back to Monday, Judge.
Yeah. Oh, David is in his little cubby hole.
Judge, on George Kelly, I don't know if someone may need to call the jail. It doesn't look like he's popped back onto Zoom yet.
They're trying to get him back on.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
I already called him.
Very good. Thank you.
And if need be, Norma, we may have to get a van and Christian, Joseph Stetson, we can drive over to the jail and do it from there.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
It's like a field trip.
Sounds good.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez. Hi, could you unmute for me, please? All right, Mr.
Okay.
Rodriguez, I've been trying to work on your financial situation. So I talked with probation. There's a way where the fee can be cut in half.
Okay.
So, but here's the thing, you're charged with stalking. I don't take this as true because I haven't received any facts on it, but I can't have someone who's charged with stalking not be on GPS because I need to know where you are.
Okay.
All right, so what we're gonna put you on then, there's an alcohol device that is also with GPS. So that alcohol device, and it's portable, so you're gonna have to carry it with you always, you understand?
So I'll be carrying an alcohol device besides the ankle monitor?
Instead of the ankle monitor, because you're saying that you can't afford that?
Right.
All right, so just give us a moment. We're gonna take care of that, okay?
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, you're welcome. Kimber Ward on Jade West, what are we doing?
I'm just waiting on plea paperwork, but I was wondering, Judge, if I could possibly get that done with my client, and then come back at 2 since I'm going to be there in person, or 1:30 if you wanted to do the actual plea, since it's close to noon and I have to go to get
Sure.
the ZD to go downtown.
Yes, 2 o'clock.
All right, then I'll see you in court at 2 o'clock.
All right, thank you, and let your client know.
Yes, and then I guess, do I need to tell Norma about plea deferred paperwork?
No, the prosecutor will let her know.
I'll let her
Okay.
know already. We're good.
All right, okay, thank you. See you guys at
All
2.
right, thank you. And then Frankie Sandoval on Aaron Pouch.
Yes, Your Honor, good morning. We conferred with Mr. Martin. I conferred with Mr. Pouch. Mr. Martin Mr. Pouch asked me to go back to Mr. Martin with a question, which I've privately chatted over to him. And that's where we currently stand, Your Honor.
So what does that mean? Where are we?
Oh, Frank, yeah, the answer is yes.
Okay, so I have the answer. Yeah, if only asking my wife to marry me was that easy. Unfortunately, it took a lot more work. If I could be placed into a breakout room with Mr. Pouch once again, please.
All right, Mr. Pouch, if you'll go to breakout room number 3.
And thank you, Mr. Martin.
Yep.
All right, and Roland Garcia, your client is not in the courtroom. So, Mr. Garcia.
Your Honor, could we wait till noon time?
No, what I can do is I'll recall it at 2 p.m., okay?
Okay, Judge, and before I forget, I also have a case that's set in your court tomorrow, and I have a scheduling conflict. I'm wondering if I can just recall it on Friday.
All right, can we take that up at 2? Because I have to get the clerks to get the file, and it's it's getting close to 12.
Okay,
And unbeknownst to me, yesterday we were here till 5:30ish. So I'm trying to make sure I'm
Okay.
aware of the time.
Very good, Judge. Okay, I'll see you too.
All right, thank you.
Norma, did you get my iChat on the email? At your convenience.
Let me check.
Judge, when you get a second, can you and I go to a breakout room?
Who wants to go to a breakout room with me?
David?
Yes. David, if you'll go to 4, I'll join you there.
2 PM on this guy, Rosie.
All right, and Frank Sandoval on Aaron Pouch.
Your Honor, good morning once again. Your Honor, Mr. Pouch has agreed to accept a offer made by the state of Texas.
Okay. So if your client can come back at 2 PM.
Your Honor, unfortunately, and I had contacted the court earlier this week, Mr. Pouch has a doctor's appointment where he needs to appear before 3 this afternoon. I know that is not the court's main concern right now, but he is interested in entering into this plea. But may we do so if we can get the paperwork done this morning or tomorrow?
You know what, then, because David Martin is the only family violence prosecutor
Okay.
here, has he already given you paperwork or no?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so then we'll have to recall it, Mr. Pouch. We're gonna
Yes, ma'am.
recall, yes, we're gonna recall your case for tomorrow. Are you able to be here tomorrow?
Let's see. Tomorrow, I should be. Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're gonna recall it for tomorrow. The reason why we've had to call it for tomorrow is there is only one family violence prosecutor, and he actually has a meeting scheduled for another case that's in this court at 11:30. So I excused him to go do that, and he won't be able to be back till this afternoon. So if you can be back tomorrow, and we'll do it by Zoom. And Mr. Sandoval, if you all have all of your paperwork done, you know, when we first Zoom in, I'll have Mr. Pouch sworn in and we'll take up his matter.
Your Honor, what I will do, as Mr. Pouch is excused and goes to his doctor's appointment, what I'll do is I'll email Miss Norma both my email address and Mr. Pouch's email address, and I'll try to get them in some form over to Mr. Martin as well.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Pouch, we will see you tomorrow then. And I'll note that it's going to be a plea. And so we will see you tomorrow at 9. Okay, Mr. Pouch?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And Mr. Pouch, just be checking your email for the documents. And once they come across, as you did this morning, just text me and we can go over the execution of those documents.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Take care,
Mr.
Mr.
Pouch,
Pouch.
thank you for your patience and good luck on your doctor's appointment.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, you're excused.
Thank you.
Bobby Gebbia?
May I be placed into a breakout room with Mr. Torrey Ridgel, please? He's in custody.
Thank you. I'll send you to breakout room number 2. Mr. Ridgel, if you could go to breakout room number 2, please. And Mr. Stateson, thank you for your patience. We're trying to get everything worked out at the jail with your client.
Oh, good. Joseph was waiting for me first, so I'm here too. Joseph, if you want to go, I'll stay for the plea. Poor Joseph. I'm gonna that's okay.
I've been on county court 4. I'll switch devices. All right. Thank you,
Okay,
Joanne.
I'll wait for the plea. Yeah, I think we signed everything. We're just waiting.
Okay.
Okay, no problem. All right, Mr. Sawyer, you're back?
I'm back on a report to the court on Jacob Tafoya.
Yes.
We've called all numbers, contacted 2 family members. No one has any contact with him.
Okay. All right, is there a prosecutor available?
Sure.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 2621B, State of Texas versus Jacob Tafoya. Could I have the parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Hunter Morris.
For the defense?
Michael J. Sawyer.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Judge.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
For the record, there has not been a Jacob Tafoya on the Zoom screen. Deputy Laura, has there been a Jacob Tafoya in the courtroom at all today?
No, Your Honor, he has not.
All right. The court will note that the defendant was scheduled to appear on May 19th, but the court was informed by defense counsel that the defendant was in the hospital. And so the defense asked the court to recall this for June 2nd. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
Your Honor, just so I may inform the court, we have contacted and called every number he supplied us with and contacted his sister and the mother, and there's no contact with anyone out there so far.
All right. And then according to what the court has on the docketing sheet, the defendant was to enter a plea in misdemeanor court. Do you know if a plea has been entered in misdemeanor court on a case, Mr. Sawyer?
I believe not, Your Honor.
All right. State?
State would ask for the bond to be forfeited and warrant issued.
All right, that will be granted and the court will remand your client without bond. Mr. Sawyer, if you're able to get in touch with your client, just let the court know and present him and the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Your Honor. We'll keep on checking throughout the day. Thank you very much, Judge.
All right, thank you.
I'm excused.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Kelly, could you go to breakout room number 2? And Joanne De Hoyos, if you could go to number 2.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Ridgel, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
Oh, we already talked, Judge.
Oh, you've already talked? Okay, don't go anywhere, Mr. Ridgel. All right, so what are we doing with Mr. Ridgel?
Your Honor, we asked for a speedy trial. We have already had that motion. The court granted our motion for speedy trial and told us we would be first on the list as soon as you got your jurors. I don't know what your calendar looks like. We have conferred, we've completed our investigation. Discovery is on point. We're ready to go.
All right, and who were you conferring with?
Mr. David Martin, the esteemed.
All right. Is there any way, Mr. Gebbia, if you could come back at 2 so I can get Mr. Martin's schedule to see where he fits on the jury trial schedule?
Sure.
And
I'm available.
if you could confer with him and if both of you all have a preferred date, then the court will put you on that preferred date.
All right, I'll be ready. Do you want Mr. Ridgel back at 2 as well? He is in custody.
All right. Do you need Mr. Ridgel to come back?
I do not. So it's up to the court.
Mr. Ridgel, would you like to come back at 2 p.m.? What's going to end up happening is I'm just going to give your attorney and the state's attorney trial date.
Yes, ma'am, I would.
All right. Norma, can you have Mr. Ridgel come back at 2 p.m., please?
All right, we'll see you this afternoon, Judge.
Thank you. Joanne De Hoyos, I sent you to a breakout room with your
Unfortunately,
client.
my client in the meantime has decided he wants to hire counsel.
All right. Can you go to breakout room number 2 and have him come back to the main room, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey. I was working that one too. It's too bad.
Mr. Kelly? Mr. Kelly, raise your hand if you can hear me.
Judge, I think he's in cuffs because he's been messing with the computers or something.
Okay,
The deputy was helping him leave the breakout room, so he didn't do it himself.
okay.
No, I think they've been having issues with why it's been going out and stuff, Judge. That's why they put him in cuffs.
Okay. We're gonna find out what's going
Calm it down
on.
real quick.
And Judge, I think for the benefit of Ms. De Hoyos,
Mhm.
I'd like to put the offer I made for Mr. Kelly on the record today.
Okay.
Just for the sake of clarity for everybody.
Yes, and I will send you and the court reporter into a breakout room to do that.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Kelly,
Yes, ma'am.
my understanding is that you want to hire an attorney?
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to hire an attorney.
Well, I mean, going to and fixing to, those are two different things. When are you hiring an attorney?
This today. As soon as I can get back to my unit and call my girlfriend. She has my money, so.
All right, good luck with that. All right, so here's the thing. You can hire whomever you want to hire. This is going on the trial docket, and so you need to let that attorney know who you're hiring that they are up for trial. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recall this for next week, Ms. De Hoyos. If he hasn't hired an attorney, you'll still be the attorney on it. Norma, can we recall this for Monday?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You're saying that you can hire one right away. We're recalling this for Monday. This is an old case, Mr. Kelly. So you'll need to have your attorney present on Monday, June 7th.
All right.
And I'm going to send you to a breakout room so that defense and the state can put something on the record. And Brenna, I'll send you to a breakout room with them.
Okay.
I'm going to send you all to breakout room number 3.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Anna.
Where you been, trustee?
Norma, can you let them know to send Mr. Kelly to breakout room number 3, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have restrictions? Can you do all the work I'm gonna ask you to do? Yes. You're not a buck? You're not a buck? Yeah. I did it over there. You're not a whack? Just a flag.
And Norma, can you let them know after they speak to him, he is done. Ed Piker, you're here?
Yes, I am. Hi.
All right.
Hi, who are you on?
Amanda Beltran.
Where y'all putting the paperwork?
I don't see her. Is she in custody?
Yes, she is. Probably if you get, I should talk to a prosecutor before I talk to her.
Okay, just give me a moment.
Sure. And Hunter was the DA I talked to, if he's available.
All right, and I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2.
All right, thanks.
Oh, okay. Are you all back?
Yes, Judge. No change.
All right, thank you. Norman, can you let them know that Kelly 14P can go back?
Yes, ma'am.
And Adrian DeLeon, have you had contact with your attorney, Mr. Jesse Rivera?
Yes, Judge. He said that he's in another courtroom.
All right, we'll see you back at 2.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, I was on the phone. Mr. Rivera is actually in Laredo County. He said he's unable to come, but we can recall it till tomorrow.
All right. Well, his client will be back in here at 2. We'll see what happens.
All right. He asked possibly next week as well, if you can.
Okay, is there any update on the paperwork for the person in the courtroom, Mr. Nguyen? Appears they're still doing something, Brenda.
And Judge, we're almost done with our paperwork. We've completed the main body of the paperwork and submitted that. The other part of the paperwork, we're just finishing up.
Okay.
We can come back at 2 if you'd like, whatever you prefer.
Oh, no, we usually sign off at 12:30.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And Norman, did you need anything from me at all? This is Mr. Stryker.
Mr. Stryker, did your client sign that paperwork? Because I sent it to her.
Yeah, so did you get my Zoom about the Y on the Ariana Y Fuentes?
I did not.
If the Zoom, I Zoom chatted you.
All right, yes.
Okay.
Ed Piper?
I will make
Yes, if I could talk to Amanda Beltran.
All
She's
right,
in custody.
just 1 second. We'll see if she's on the Zoom. She's not on the Zoom yet. Just give us a moment.
Thank you.
656, 69.
Hey, Ed, what's your email? Can you chat me your email?
Yeah, Let me just tell you, okay? You there? Can you hear me, Hunter?
Yes, he can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, it's the THE law, LAW, offices, plural, of M as in Mario, E as in Ed, M as in Mario, J as in John, R as in Robert, at yahoo.com.
The law offices of MEMJR.
Yeah, it's Mario Trevino and Mike Granados and me, and I think it was Jim Tochi and Raul Trevino. Those all our first initials. I guess now the J can be for Joanne Doyle's. Since Tochi's gone.
They're trying to get Amanda Beltran up here.
Judge, can you put me in a breakout room with Attorney Stryker and Defendant Fuentes, Ariana?
They're not on this Zoom.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Something like that.
Or at least have an audio on Zoom.
Mhm.
Here.
Norma, it's Robert. I just sent you a chat right now. If you could check it out.
Yes, sir. Judge, I sent you a chat.
Hello, Norma. Yeah, hi. Who's that, Piker?
Sorry, yes, sir. I'm sorry, I was on mute.
No, oh, okay. No, I was just wondering if they're tracking down that Amanda Beltran.
Yes.
I'm sending you a text, a
Oh.
chat, Ed.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna chat with him too, Judge. Go ahead.
Ah, got it. Okay, I guess we'll just do it again some other time.
Yeah, I can probably bring her back in about 2 weeks.
Let me, I have a 2 to 3 day civil trial set right now, 16, 17, 18. How about the last week of the month?
Okay.
Thank you.
Real quick, Ed, before you go.
Yes, Hunter.
I'm finishing the paperwork we talked about.
Right.
In the event she picks up an additional case, before the next time we speak, we'll have to reconsider.
Hunter, she's remand without, so I don't
Oh,
think she's
okay,
going anywhere.
okay. Well,
If she, but I do understand.
okay,
Yes.
you never know.
I totally get it. All right, and if I get a chance to talk to her through her family or something and pass this on, we may be able to get a confirmation, but if she's in the situation she's in right now, she won't be available anyway for a while.
Okay.
All right, thank you, everyone. Have a good morning.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Watch it.
Hunter, I send you a chat.
All right. Rebecca, on Mr. Antonio Rodriguez.
Yes, ma'am.
So my understanding is that the fees on the GPS can't be waived or deferred, correct?
Correct.
So he said he's willing to do the other device that has GPS that it's half the price.
The Smart Start portable GPS.
Yes, and to the clerks, could I get cause number 2021 CR 2413, please? All right, so that's what we'll switch it to.
Okay, and this is for the 90 days as well, or the three,
Yes.
is it 90 days or I forgot the period of time?
It's 90 days.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So 90 days. And this is is this the device that's on his ankle or somewhere? Because we need to know where he is at all times. That's the problem.
I believe it's just portable where he carries it.
Don't they, what about Scram? Isn't Scram with him all the time?
Scram is with him. That's a little bit more.
How much would that be?
I believe that one is 200, if I'm not mistaken, 200 and something. Installed, it's $369.50, and then every 30 days it's 300.
Oh.
And then they do $140 bi-weekly payment, I believe.
Is there any way to see if they can defer fees or put him on indigent status?
The Scram?
No, I guess he needs to be, yes, the Scram.
Okay, let me give them a call. I'm not sure what they have available for that.
Okay, Mr. Rodriguez, we're gonna have you zoom out, but I need you to zoom back in at 2 p.m. We're gonna see what we can come up with, okay? All right, you're welcome, thank you. So we'll continue to do investigative work. And I'm gonna see what I can come up with too, Rebecca.
Okay.
And then, guys, I think we're gonna take our break because I don't see anyone else who's ready. Oh, just 1 second. Anna sent out the wrong text message. Just one second, everyone. All right, everyone, we're going to recess until 2 p.m. Hopefully that gives everyone a good chance to have a lunch break. And everyone, I promise I will keep an eye on the time. We will not be here